Well, hello and welcome again to another edition of Zany Baseball. I am Zane.
I'm Zane.
And it seems like we have a lot to get caught up on. It's been a couple weeks again, and I don't feel like I've been watching a lot of baseball.
I feel like I have been. I've been very in tune to it. I've been on ESPN every given moment I can be on and figuring out what's going on. And I think one of the things that I've been following lately is the hit streaks. So the starting off with Jackie Bradley Jr. He had his hit streak going. It was hitting. He was getting up there on the batting average list too, and then the Rockies stifled him, and I believe it was 4 at bats. And funny thing is, he was on deck when the last out was made. So
Right.
with maybe that one last ditch effort to get to 30, but Rockies stifled him at a 29 hit streak. But then his teammate Xander Bogaerts picked him back up, and he's now currently, I believe, at 26 games.
Wow.
So they're still kind of just coming. They're not wanting to slow down. The hit streaks are still coming.
Right. It's pretty remarkable to think about. Jackie Bradley Jr. has a 29-game hit streak. That's exactly one past half of what Lou Gehrig's hit streak was. They say the streak will never be broken. One of the streaks will never be broken, and you have to tend to agree that.
Yeah, when he's getting into the upper 20s, now Xander Bogaerts is sort of starting to get there.
Right.
You start thinking, maybe this can happen, but really, it's not even halfway there.
No, he'd have to completely do that again.
Yeah, he'd have to take what he did the last 2-3 weeks,
Right.
and then do it again consecutively, which
Right.
is amazingly hard to do.
I don't know. You have to look it up. Maybe I heard something one time that after the hit streak ended, Gehrig went on another 20-something or 30-something game hitting streak
Really?
after that. Yeah,
Wow,
that's how dialed in he was.
wow, that's something.
I think that was the same year. That Ted Williams hit 400. I think that all happened in the same year.
So this is the batting average year or something.
Yeah.
Wow, that's something. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
But and then another teammate of the Red Sox, Mookie Betts, is made history being the second or hitting a home run to lead off a game in two consecutive games, and he hit 5 home runs in 2 games.
Wow. That's the one thing about baseball. I think we had tweeted that from our Zany Baseball account is, there's some things that you can go to a baseball game that may have never happened before.
It might never happen again.
And so Mookie Betts has home runs in the first and second inning in one game, and then the next game has a home run in the first and second inning. It's never happened in baseball history.
No, yeah, and that's
here
crazy.
It is.
Yeah, and well, I was listening to the Red Sox announcers, and they're like, he's done it again. Wow, he's done it again. He just keeps on coming, and they just keep going. And I was looked in after his 5th home run. I looked to see what the score was after that, to see if he had hit any more. And I saw David Ortiz had hit a home run, and I said, wow, how many has he hit? And I thought, wow, Mookie Betts must be catching up to him with that,
Right.
gaining 4 on him in 2 games.
Right.
So Mookie Betts starting to show some power numbers, and also their rivals who they've been facing these last 2 days, the Orioles. Mark Trumbo's been having a little bit of a power surge here lately too. I think maybe on top, not quite top of the home run list, but either second or third, I believe, with 17 home runs. So he's starting to get up there in power numbers, and I was actually just reading before we started to record about some trade rumors about him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they thought actually it was pretty interesting about the possibility of the Pirates going from Jeff Locke and going with a next year free agent Mark Trumbo to boost up their offensive numbers a little bit.
The Pirates' offensive numbers?
Yeah.
No. I wouldn't make that trade.
Okay.
Listen, the Pirates' offensive numbers are good. They're one of the best offensive teams in baseball. They don't have a lot of home run hitters, and for whatever reason, Mark Trumbo's always been a guy that's been associated with the Pirates when, when he was in Los Angeles, and I think was he in Seattle as well? I don't know, but he's like a guy that's always like whatever reason, no team wants to hold on to him, so they think that the Pirates would want him. But the Pirates' offense is rolling. I mean, I think the problem is there's not a lot of room for Jeff Locke in the rotation. Probably once a Tyon comes up or a Glasnow, and so I think you're starting to see who has value as far as trade chips coming down the line. I don't see that as being a trade. And why would Baltimore get rid of them? I mean, it's not like they have. I mean, they have.
Well, I think they're just talking about rental players. Like this is like a point in the season where
right.
you may be thinking about some players down the road, like maybe not quite at the trade deadline, but getting to some rental players that might help you out to just get through this season and then ship them off later to free agency.
Right.
So.
And who's Trumbo playing for?
The Orioles. Yeah.
Right? And so they're only a game out of first place. So they're not going to want to get rid of Trumbo.
Yeah, I guess I mean, yeah. I wouldn't think...
I don't know. That rumor... It's a bad rumor. I just don't see that. Anything near coming to happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either. But then, more power numbers. Madison Bumgarner hit another home run. It was a pretty good home run, too. He hit it a long way. And then I believe another one of our Zany Baseball tweets was, I think it said Mike Trout and Bryce Harper and Madison Bumgarner have, in their last 190 plate appearances, have all hit 11 home runs. So Madison Bumgarner is showing power numbers on the lines of Bryce Harper and Mike Trout.
that is pretty amazing when you think about it.
It is. I mean, I had the ban the DH video that I had a few weeks ago, and he's out to prove it. Looking all over Twitter, it's saying pitchers who rake, and
right.
That's Madison Bumgarner. He's looking to help himself out, and I think that's what pitchers should be trying to do. I mean, if it's a plate appearance, I saw one of the games in Miami that Pirates played. Nicasio comes up with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Hits one into center field, just barely misses a single due to a diving Ichiro.
Right.
But, pitchers have to help themselves out at some point. There's only 8 spots in the lineup, and then it's to the pitcher. So you got to... Sometimes that bottom half of the order is rolling, whereas the top half isn't. And when you get that bottom half rolling, you got to keep it rolling with that pitcher spot.
Makes sense to me. Now, I heard another argument against the ban the DH, that the DH is important. Ryan Vogelsong got whacked in the eye by a pitch earlier this week.
And that was another...
And so they said, Ryan Vogelsong, he's not a pitcher, or he's a pitcher, so he's at bat all the time, so he's not used to getting out of the way of high and tight pitches, and so that's why, there should be a DH for everywhere. Well,
it's a freak accident.
It is a freak accident. You got to be able to get out of the way that's thrown at your head, and it's not a reason to ban the DH.
No.
Or it's not a reason to implement the DH.
Yeah.
So I'm with you there.
Yeah, I'm still part of the ban the DH club. Just saying, Bob Walk.
Are you like a secretary or vice president?
I could be.
Cool.
I could make the T-shirts.
How much? Yeah. There you go. Go sound down the Clemente Bridge.
Yeah. Ban the DH club, courtesy of Bob Walk. $5 a piece.
Just put ban the DH. We'll sell them on the Clemente Bridge for $5 a piece, and you can play trumpet with the saxophone man.
Sure. All right. We'll figure something out. Another interesting story. The Mariners, they're wanting it this year, and it's obviously been showing. Last night, I went to bed before the game was over, but what a game it was. The Padres were up at one point, I believe, up 10 runs, 12-2, and the Mariners came back with a double to bring it back within, I think, 7-ish, maybe 5. And then they had, I think, 7 back-to-back singles.
Wow.
They just kept going down the line. It started with the bases loaded, single, first and third, single, first and third, single, first and third. And they just kept going and going and going until they had racked up 10 or 9 runs in the 7th inning.
Wow.
And so they ended up going on to win 16-13. And,
wow.
I think the Mariners are kind of making a name for themselves. They haven't been a big playoff team, in a while. I mean, they were one of the greatest regular season teams in 2001.
Right.
They're just trying to get back to the postseason, and like I said, make a name for themselves. They're 31-22, so they're tied with the Rangers in first place in the AL West. And it seems like it's a good lineup up and down. Just looking at their numbers, and they just don't want to go away. And I think that's a good thing for the Mariners.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about that game. That's pretty exciting. It'd be just a great game to be, I guess. But yeah, what a great comeback to not only come back but to score that many runs and just to keep the pressure on. So yeah. Well done to the Mariners.
Yeah, that's kind of been one of the teams that I've kind of liked. They haven't really been good in the past few years, but that's kind of a team that I sort of like it.
Well, listen, they got themselves into first place, and so you can't. We're getting to that point. We're past Memorial Day. We're into June.
We're looking at standings.
We're looking at standings a little bit, and so the Mariners have gotten themselves tied for first with the Rangers, and I think that that's a good sign. That's a good start, certainly.
Yeah, especially at this point in the season. Then another team just doesn't want to lose is Cubs, which is not fun for Pirate fans at all.
They're ridiculous.
I know. They win every night. They've only got 15 they got like 17 losses. It's so bad, especially when the Pirates have a 3-game losing streak. They were like 5 games out of.
Yeah, they got to like 4.5,
Sunday.
5.5 out, something like that.
Now they're 8.5.
So here's the thing. The Cubs have always been like the lovable losers, right? Everybody pulls for the Cubs because they've not won anything since, in over 100 years. They're like the lovable losers. But this team is not a bunch of lovable losers. They're a lot of unlikable
Winners.
I always thought that I liked Joe Madden when he was in Tampa Bay,
but then when he came to the Cubs,
he's annoying.
He's annoying as
his old get up, yeah. He is annoying, and I don't know, just in a sort of a pompous, pretentious sort of way.
Here's what I think. I think sometimes Major League's introduced the challenge in the past 5 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And it seems like whenever Joe Madden goes out to make a challenge, he's got this sneer on his face, I got this one. And even if it's not even close, it seems like he gets it. It's just something that bugs me.
I thought I liked him when he was with the Rays. Whenever he went to the Cubs, I sort of liked him. But then the thing that really drew my ire last year is whenever Coughlin took out Jung Ho Kang at second base last year, ended his season, and then the news conference afterwards was saying, well, I think, I don't think he's hurt. I think it could be plantar fasciitis.
Goodness.
It's just dumb. Don't say that. And so, I don't know. It's just that really sort of smirky attitude I don't like about Joe Madden. They're loaded.
Yeah. Looking up and down their lineup, they have one person that's not a everyday player, and still they're getting contribution out of everybody.
I like Zobrist. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I like Zobrist too.
But, and he's having a fantastic year.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Fowler's worked out for them. Bryant, Rizzo, Hayward, I guess. They're loaded, man. Arrieta is still rolling. I guess the Cubs finally lost a game in which he had started. He didn't get the loss in the game.
Yeah.
And I guess there's been a little bit of cracks in his armor. He's had some outings where it hasn't been quite as crisp, but
yeah, that's the thing that teams got to take advantage of. That's the first time he's lost in 26 games.
Yeah.
That's the first time the Cubs have lost a game when he started. We were having this conversation a few days ago. You get to a postseason format. You get into that 5-game series. You win that first game with your ace on the mound.
Right.
So then you're already up. But then what do you got afterwards? And then the Cubs have a great rotation. Jason Hamill has been lights out. And actually, another thing that I forgot to put on our little card was Jason Hamill allowed 1 hit in 2 innings. The bullpen was through 7 perfect innings.
Wow.
against the Dodgers.
Wow.
Good offensive team. So like you're seeing like this pitching staff is complementing this
They're
batting
loaded.
lineup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they're loaded. You know, they have by far and away the best record in baseball. 37 of 15, a 7.12 winning percentage. Won 8 of their last 10, 2 in a row. Listen, they're not going away. They're gonna make the playoffs,
Easily.
and it's just a matter of can the Pirates or the Cardinals do something to start catching them? I mean, the Cardinals are just a couple games over 500. The Pirates, 5 games over 500, but lost 3 in a row and had lost I think 5 of 7 on their road trip. They're back home against the Angels.
Is that right?
Yeah.
He had the momentum coming out of Texas, I would think.
Well, they won. Did they win the first game in Texas?
Yeah, they won the first.
And then they lost the next 2. They won the first game in Miami.
10-0, which was the first shutout or first complete game in like 3 years for the Pirates.
Yeah, Jeff Locke was locked in. I mean,
3 hits, I think.
Yeah,
no walks.
Yeah, almost had what's called the Maddox. You've heard
Yeah,
of the Maddox?
the under 100 pitches.
Yeah, complete game shutout under.
I think it was like 104 pitches that
Right.
he ended up with.
Listen, and that was good Jeff Locke. There's bad Jeff Locke and good Jeff Locke.
And we have our little Jeff Locke inconsistency thing. So, but that was a good day for Jeff Locke.
Oh,
obviously.
yeah. Listen, he can. I mean, he's been an all-star. He's lefty. I mean, he's got a lot going for him.
It's funny because I forgot he was an all-star.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. And I guess it wasn't his rookie year, but it was his first full season.
Yeah.
He started 10-1 or something like that.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and he didn't make it right away, but he filled a roster spot for somebody.
Huh. I'll have to look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But another pitcher sort of coming off the snide that was not doing good, but had a really good outing, was Matt Harvey with a shutout through, I think 7 or 8 innings.
No, I think it was 6 or 7.
7.
He didn't go.
All right,
he
I
didn't
would
go
say
8.
7. I mean, while I was reading something as the game was going on, maybe they should pull Harvey after 5 innings when he's got a shutout, and he had a no-hitter for a while too, I think, or whatever. But it was just doesn't that show the exact opposite lack of confidence in him? If
you're gonna take him out, it might make him think,
I mean, he was rolling, and so I think the Mets got the win in that game.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing for the Mets. The Mets continue to trail the Nationals, but they're still really strong. And Noah Syndergaard has been really good.
Yes. Yeah. Very good pitcher.
Noah Syndergaard has been really good.
And then, staying in the East, kind of the thing we went back to, the contenders or pretenders,
Right.
the Phillies,
Struggling
struggling very badly with losing 9 of their last 10, 7 in a row at this point.
Yeah, I think I saw the schedule start to turn for the Phillies. I thought to myself, they got a tough couple
Weeks ahead of them.
coming up. I said, I wonder how they're going to respond to that, and I guess they didn't respond too good.
Yeah, with 7 in a row, dropping 7 in a row, especially with the point they were at, it wasn't too bad, to be honest.
Right.
But they kind of just broke down in these last few games and lost a week's worth of baseball, which isn't good.
Yeah. No. I was trying to see who they played.
I guess I was watching.
Well, they played the Cubs, so they got swept by. Well, they lost 2-3 to Atlanta, which isn't very good.
No, that's not good.
They got swept by Detroit. They got swept by the Chicago Cubs, which we saw coming. They got swept by the Nationals. They've lost to the Brewers. And then they have the Cubs again after that, and then the Nationals again after that, then Toronto after that. I think they got a break. Yeah, they got a break with their schedule
earlier
on, and I think now they're paying the piper. And
now here's my question: do you think they're gonna continue this slide and be the team that we thought they were gonna be at the beginning of the year, or do you think they're just gonna kind of hover around 500-ish?
Yeah, they may hover around 500-ish. I mean, they're already 2 games now under 500. I just rattled off who they're playing in the next couple of weeks. I would guess that they're gonna lose some ground again. So I think, 2 weeks from now we do another Zany baseball. You're gonna see them, 5-6 games under 500. I think they're going to go back to where we thought that they were going to go.
Yeah. Then the Marlins taking 3 or 4 from the Pirates. Obviously not too good for us, but somewhat decent for them, being only 4 out now.
Fernandez had a great start. Yelich had a walk-off last night in extra innings.
Yeah, 12 innings or something.
He's a good player, man.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
Young.
Yeah.
Very good player.
Ichiro, still a good player. Not very young, but closing in on 3,000 hits.
Yeah, how many is it? Is it like 20-ish now?
Yeah, something like that. 20-something away.
He had a couple hits last night, I believe.
Yeah.
So nice catch, too.
Yeah, saw that.
Yeah, and so the East is kind of making its way towards what we think it's gonna be like the rest of the season. And,
Right.
Like you said, earlier in the video, Memorial Day is kind of that place where you start looking at the standings.
Yeah, we got enough of a season in to have some trends to make some observations, whether you think that somebody's going to make it or not. So,
one more thing before we, or maybe 2 more things, but White Sox are declining, which is not what we were expecting at all.
Well, I liked the White Sox. They've had some struggles, I think, hitting lately. I mean, they just, they've run into a little bit of a tough patch. I don't know that they've been doing anything really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say that I've paid too much attention. I'm just kind of seeing these, 2-1 losses, 1-0 losses, and they got shut out by the Mets.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the other way around.
Right.
Like they're just losing some tough ball games, and it's kind of stinks for them because they were up top for a while, and then the Indians and Royals kind of come out of nowhere and start taking over the division. So.
Yeah, I mean the Royals. You expect that. I don't know. Again, I think we expected the Indians to be good again.
Indians have had a couple good games. Walk off, I believe, last night with led by Francisco Lindor, another great young star, probably an all-star.
I haven't been paying too much attention. Is Kluber doing all right?
I think he's doing okay. I don't know exactly what his spreads are, but I think the Indians have been kind of just there. They're not a great team, not a bad team. So they're,
Right.
I mean, they're game and a half out behind the Royals, and Royals are kind of still staying with it and going with their trend of just continuing that World Series run and kind of just trying to keep going with it.
Well, yeah, I'm just looking up here now. It looks like the Royals and the Indians are setting off for a weekend series here. So, yeah, Kluber looks all right. 73 strikeouts leads the Indians as far as team goes.
Yeah, and then Salazar and Carrasco.
Yeah,
behind
4.15 ERA though. I mean, 4-6, 4.15 ERA.
It's not great.
Not great. Not great, but
it's okay.
Yeah,
not great at all. But I think the Indians just got to keep winning ball games. How they know how to win ball games. They've been coming from behind late in ball games a few of these days lately. So
yeah. Well, listen, we're getting into the dog days of June here, the summer. Let's see what comes to pass.
See what goes on this week in baseball.
Now, the thing about this weekend we're coming into, it's one of my favorite tournaments is the College Baseball World Series. I really am disappointed I never got a chance to go to Rosenblatt Field in Omaha, the old Rosenblatt, to see the College World Series. I always wanted to do that. I still someday would like to go to Omaha to see the College World Series. But the tournament kicks off today.
Oh, is it today?
Yeah, so the first games are starting today. That the SEC and the ACC especially. ACC had 10 teams in. The SEC had 7 teams in. I think all of the seeds, all of the regional seeds for the top 16, I think they all came from either the ACC or the SEC with a couple exceptions. I follow a couple teams here locally. We like the UNC Wilmington Seahawks. We've got a chance to see a couple of their games this year.
Their catcher leads college in RBIs this year, I think.
Right. And is he a freshman? I think he's a freshman.
Is he?
I think.
Maybe, yeah.
and they're heading to Columbia to face USC, the South Carolina Gamecocks, in that region. So that's going to be that's going to be a tough region to get out of. South Carolina always has a pretty amazing program. I think they didn't make the tournament last year. They had like an off year last year, but UNC Wilmington is a team that we like to follow. So we're wishing them the best this weekend in the first in the Carolina region or the Columbia Regional, and I think Coastal Carolina, which is out of Myrtle Beach, is heading up to NC State to play in the Raleigh Regional against the Wolfpack, and so we're in a in the southeast United States here, we're in a hotbed of great college baseball. And so I just love how the tournament goes. I just love how, you get 64 teams in. You group them into groups of 4, play round robin, or not round robin, you play it out, so double elimination, and one team makes it out, so you come up with 16 teams. And then you pair those 16 teams up for a series, best of 3 series, and then so those comes up with 8 winners, and those 8 winners get to go to the College World Series. I think it's a great tournament, and I'm hoping to catch some on TV. So
yeah, about LSU and Dallas Baptist for my 2.
Yeah, we like Dallas Baptist too. We're a big fan of that team. They're in, I think, the one of the Texas brackets. I want to say the Texas Tech region is who they're playing. So, yeah, with Texas Tech, Fairfield, New Mexico. So, that's who Dallas. And you said LSU. LSU is one of the national seeds. Really good program. Where are they at?
Right here.
Yeah, Utah Valley, Southeastern Louisiana, Rice. And they'll play the winner of the NC State region. So,
yeah. It'll be interesting to watch the next generation of MLB.
That's right.
Was that Dansby Swanson was drafted like right after Vanderbilt won the
he was
won the College World Series.
Yeah, and I guess speaking about Vanderbilt, they're playing the first round of the NCAAs today with very heavy heart. I don't know if you heard this, but one of their pitchers, freshman Donnie Everett, had passed away today. He had drowned yesterday. Was out fishing with some buddies or whatever in a lake, and something happened. I don't know. Like, it sounds like something medical happened, and he ended up not being able to get to shore, and his buddies thought he was joking with him. And I think it sounds like something else happened. Like that he didn't even have the capability of thrashing around and asking and giving the urgency that he really needed for help. But freshman on the Commodores team drowned, and the Commodores playing the first game today with a very heavy heart. So rest in peace, Donnie Everett.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, sorry to end the Zany baseball on a sad note.
Yeah, that's depressing.
Sorry. All right, well, listen, that's, I think, enough Zany baseball for today. You got a game today. We got to get doubleheader.
Yeah.
Got to get to going.
Mm-hmm.
So we would love for you to comment. We'd love for you to share Zany baseball with others. We just love talking baseball and continue to want to talk about baseball as the year progresses.
Subscribe and leave a like if you like the video, and we'll see y'all later.
All right. We're out of here. Click there.